Good evening. Call this meeting of the Johnson City Board of Commission to order for Thursday, May 18th, 2017. If everyone would please rise for the invocation by Johnson City Police Department Matt Young, also of Fountain of Life Baptist Church.
At this time, I'd like for everyone to bow their heads. Dear the Father, Lord, just thank you for this wonderful and beautiful day that you blessed us with. Thank you for each and every person represented here this evening. Lord, I just want to lift up this council board, and Lord, I just pray that you would give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that you would give them the wisdom of Solomon, that you would give them discernment. And Lord, with this being Police Week, I want to lift up a special prayer for our men and women who serve this community. And Lord, I pray that you'll put your angels about them, keep them safe and well, be with their families, and give them peace. And Lord, let your presence be known and felt at all times and in all situations. Lord Jesus, we thank you, we love you, and we praise you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Peterson, Commissioner Fowler is traveling and may or may not make it, so we will leave his seat open. He is welcome. We wish him safe travels, but if he gets here in time, he will show up.
All right, your first order of business is consideration of the minutes from your meeting held Thursday, May 4th, 2017.
Move for approval.
Have a second?
Second.
It's going to have to be you. Well, that's right. Two of us were not here.
Yes.
Do we need a majority to abstain? Or I actually did watch it from Japan, so I will know.
Stream.
How about that? So we have a motion and a second. Hope everybody doesn't mind us thinking out loud for a minute.
Commissioner Van Brocklin?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock?
Yes.
And Mayor Tomita?
Yes.
This takes us to proclamations, the first being recognition of Mays Brothers Tool Manufacturing Company in celebration of their 100th anniversary.
Good evening, and as Commissioner Wise was very quick to point out, this is not a 100-year anniversary, it is a 100th anniversary, and what an awesome thing to celebrate. Not too many companies make it that amount of time. We appreciate your being here, and your citizenship, corporate citizenship, and I'll read this proclamation to you. Whereas the quality of Mays Brothers tools can be traced back to the 1800s when skilled stonemason and bricklayer August Mays began making precise levels for other tradesmen. And whereas in 1917, Mays Brothers Tool Company was officially established, and in 1956, its operations were moved to Johnson City, Tennessee. That's before I was born. And whereas Mays Brothers was acquired by Great Neck Tools in 1967, which has resulted in a long period of steady growth and innovation, and whereas today, the diverse spectrum of the Mays product line and drive to make as many components as possible in-house have led to the company to have a wide range of equipment and expertise with products that can be found in any hardware store in America, including big box retailer. Now, therefore, I, David Tomita, Mayor of the City of Johnson City, do hereby congratulate Mays Brothers Tool Manufacturing Company on its 100th anniversary, and thank its founders and employees for contributing to the growth and success of our city by continuing the spirit of innovation, quality of workmanship that led to the start of the company more than a century ago. Congratulations. I'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your company.
Hello, my name is John McKinn, General Manager, Mays Brothers Tool Company. I would like to say what an honor and a privilege it is to be here tonight to receive the proclamation on behalf of the owners and employees of Mays Brothers. The decision to come to Johnson City, long before I was born as well, was in other members' choice, but I'm glad they did. Worked out for all of us, and we've never been one of the largest employers in Johnson City, but certainly hope one of the most stable and consistent. We are constantly trying to add product lines. We're adding a few this year, as a matter of fact, so hopefully we will be growing the number of employees. Again, we love being in Johnson City, and thank you again for the council and the proclamation.
Thank you. And I think Vice Mayor Brock has a little
Well, I
Tidbit
did.
about it.
I just won a longest drive contest in a golf tournament Monday, and the gift was an 8-foot Mays Brother level.
Congratulations.
So thank you. I didn't know
That's
you were going to be
wonderful.
here tonight, so.
Now you need something that's 8 feet that you're
I
going to
mean-
level.
I'm sure
Very
my
good.
husband will take care of
Oh,
finding
yeah.
something.
It won't go to waste in your household. Thank you again.
Mayor, your next proclamation is in recognition of Purple City Day.
Gee, I wonder who's here for this. You can come around that way too. Sure. Now, I've already been scolded for not having any purple on tonight, and I do apologize. Although, I guess we could, yeah, we could stretch it a little bit. And I don't mind telling you, when I first saw that, I went, what the heck is purple? It's Purple City Day, but now I know. So I'm glad to present this proclamation on behalf of the City Commission. Whereas dementia is a collective term used to describe the symptoms that individuals with different brain disorders or damage can have with memory, language, and thinking, with Alzheimer's disease being the most common known disorder under the dementia umbrella. And whereas persons suffering from dementia have conflicting levels of awareness and ability to function and communicate with others, which is sometimes difficult for others to comprehend. And whereas 13,470 individuals over the age of 60 live in Johnson City, and nearly 550 of them have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease and related disorders. And whereas the Purple Cities Alliance is working to create dementia-friendly cities across the country, and these Purple Cities encourage members and organizations to execute specific steps to help those with dementia feel safer and better cared for in their community. Now therefore, I, David Tomita, Mayor of the City of Johnson City, in conjunction with the National Purple Cities Alliance, do hereby proclaim May 19th Purple City Day in Johnson City, Tennessee, and call upon our citizens to learn the warning signs and how to assist those suffering from dementia, and World Wear Purple on Friday, May 19th, to help raise awareness and understanding.
You have to wear purple tomorrow.
I will. I got to tell you, my family is dealing with this right now, so I know very well what a horrible disease that is. So yes, I will wear. I don't own anything, but I will go out tomorrow and buy something. If I get out of here early enough, I'll do it tonight. Would everybody like to introduce themselves?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm Kathy Whitaker, and I'm with the Area Agency on Aging and Disability, and we really appreciate the City of Johnson City proclaiming tomorrow as Purple City Day. And Purple City is an initiative so that everyone is aware of dementia, and as the proclamation stated, so that individuals who have dementia can feel safer and better cared for in their communities. So we're so pleased that Johnson City is one of our Purple Cities. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Everybody introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Michelle Bowling, and we started this back last September here in this area at Dominion in Johnson City, and we are in assisted living memory care. And so we thank you for doing this. This is such a privilege, and I'll introduce everybody else. I'll let them.
I'm Ava Foster.
Kara Dibble. Shelby Skidmore.
David Nidifer.
This side.
I'm Kathy Carter Bisner. I have a master's in social work. I prefer to work with the elderly as my favorite population, and I have been caring for my mother with dementia for the last 2.5 years. So this is something that's dear to my heart. Thank you.
Ginger Bastion.
Jenny Perkins.
Kelly Monteleone.
Well, again, thanks everybody for coming out. Let's give them a round of applause. Everybody wear purple tomorrow and find something.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Your next proclamation, Mayor, is in recognition of Police Week. And we have the Honorable Chief Soroy Jim Talmadge and Scotty Carey are coming forward to receive that proclamation. Not that you other guys aren't honorable either.
Well, it's our honor to read this proclamation to you tonight on behalf of the commission. We talked a lot about our commitment to you and our appreciation of what you do when we broke ground or unveiled the training facility. But, we just, again, we forget a lot of things we do, a lot of things kind of like water and sewer. You just expect it to work when you turn it on. We expect to be safe. You guys do that, but your life on life works every day, and we all appreciate that. And I think everybody else in here does too. So it's an honor to read this. Whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation that designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which that date falls is Police Week. And whereas more than 900,000 sworn law enforcement officers bravely serve in the United States, and approximately 150 of those guard the security of the citizens of Johnson City. And since 1791, more than 20,000 officers have become fallen heroes while protecting the innocent from deception and the weak from oppression, including 143 in 2016. And whereas it is important that citizens understand the duties and responsibilities that law enforcement officers assume, the hazards they endure, and the sacrifices they make each day so that we all live safer, more peaceful lives. Now therefore, I, David Tamita, Mayor of the City of Johnson City, Tennessee, in conjunction with the national observance, do hereby proclaim May 14th through the 20th, 2017, Police Week in Johnson City, Tennessee, and call upon our citizens to honor our officers who so bravely ensure that this community is safe, and to also pay tribute to those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Thank you. I'm pretty sure everybody in the room knows who you are, but introduce yourself and if you'd like to say anything, please do.
Thank you very much. I'm Chief Mark Soroy, and with me to my left is Sergeant Jim Talmadge, and to his to my right, my mother left. To his right is Lieutenant Scotty Carrier. And Mayor, thank you very much. And I do appreciate you and the Board of Commissioners for your support of us historically and of course City Administration, and also coming out to the dedication ceremony where we named our training complex in honor of the late Rick Collins, a longtime training officer with our department. I think about the Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C., and on that memorial is a scripture in size, and it is, "Blessed are the peacemakers." When I think about that scripture, I think about one of my first captains when I was a patrol officer, Captain Jerry Huskins, and he used to say every now and then, "Blessed are the peacemakers," and then he said, "You know what we are, ladies and gentlemen? We are peace officers." And keeping the peace is what we do, and it's a trust, it's a sacred trust, and it's something that we take seriously, and it's something that is only possible through a partnership with our community, so everybody working together to keep the peace. It's very important to us, and we will uphold that, the 149 men and women of the Johnson City Police Department. Mayor, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
All right, we're handing out some money, aren't we?
At this time, if we could ask the recipients and proud parents of the employee scholarship recipients to please come forward for presentation of scholarships. Just as a reminder, this is a scholarship program that's run by and funded by the employees. The employees here contribute from their paychecks to a scholarship fund, which is the funding source for these scholarships. And this is a long-standing tradition that's taken place for decades now. And we certainly want to recognize the accomplishments of our young folks and the hard work of their parents in getting them to this point.
Thank you, Pete, for the introduction. And I do want to add to that since 1994, we have given out a total of 182 scholarships. We have awarded 182 scholarships, to the total of $155,310 approximately. I want to also thank the scholarship committee. There are several members from all over the city, different departments. Almost every department, well, definitely every department is represented. And I want to thank all of those that have donated to this scholarship program. And some of us have donated with no children, but we feel like, I watched Hayden grow up, and my gosh, I watched, Amanda grow up. I feel like you're our children too. The first award is to Hayden Graham, and please just step forward, and the mayor, just kind of step forward, Mayor, if you want to go ahead and get in front of me here, he will present that. Hayden will be going to East Tennessee State University. Now say go Bucks. He will be majoring in finance, and his mother's Wendy Graham with information technology. Amanda Howland. Amanda will be going to Kansas State University, and her major is chemistry. Her mother's Ann Howland with the Development Services offices. Caitlin Jones, and she will be going to the University of Tennessee.
You're on the very top.
And she will be majoring in biology. Her mother's Tammy Jones with the finance department. And her father is also here, Mr. Jones. Sorry, I don't remember your first name. Leah Kidd. Leah will be going to East Tennessee State University. She will be majoring in nursing. And her mother is Pat Kidd, Public Works. Next is Michael Robinson. Michael wasn't able to be with us this evening, but he will be attending Walter State Community College. He has not decided on his major yet, and his father is Paul Robinson with Public Works. We also have Addison Rowe. She's not able to be with us this evening. She's going to Marshall University, and her major is biochemistry. Her father is Darian Rowe with the fire department. Peyton Smith, not able to be here this evening. She is going to the University of Tennessee. Her major is certified registered nurse anesthesia. Ooh. Christopher Smith is her father with the fire department. We have Dylan Stout. Dylan is going to East Tennessee State University. He will be majoring in criminal justice. You need to be speaking to the chief before you leave. His father is Mark Stout with the police department. And then we have Abigail Wilson. She's going to East Tennessee State University. Her major is pre-occupational therapy. Her father is Jeff Wilson with the police department, and Jeff's wife is also here, Mrs. Wilson. Thank you all. We are proud of you. Your applications, it proves that furthering your education is a asset to the community wherever you are or wherever you go. We are proud of you, and good luck in your future studies. Hope you come back or stay in Johnson City and bring your talents back to us. Thank you. That's it. Did you get a good with all of them? Keisha's got it. Yeah.
All right, Commission, at this time, I'd like to ask Tom Witherspoon to come forward as my city manager's report this evening. I've asked Tom to come in and give us an update on the water sewer capital projects and kind of get us up to speed on where we are with all that and what we've still got to look forward to.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. We'll go through this quickly. This is part of a delivery of about $45 million in debt-funded capital. A portion of these are also rate-funded capital. We always like to show up with a project that's been complete, that has been completed during the last 4 months. This is the work that we were doing at the Watauga Water Treatment Plant. The biggest component of it was this rendering of the change in the disinfection system from gaseous chlorine to sodium hypochlorite. This project was complete. That's what the end result looks like. We were, I believe we awarded about $1.3 million, and we finished about 3% under the award, so that project's complete. Makes it safer for our employees, it makes it safer for our neighbors. So that's following an industry trend in the water systems. Things that are under construction, this is the revision going on at 2 of our 3 wastewater treatment plants, Knob Creek and Brush Creek. The activities at Knob Creek deal with being able to handle and utilize some existing compartments for wet weather flow, and also rebuilding some equipment that is beyond its useful service life that was put in 1984. At Brush Creek, we're redoing the solids handling, again converting the disinfection there from gaseous chlorine to sodium hypochlorite. Also utilizing a vessel that's no longer about a 3 million gallon vessel for wet weather flow. This is over at Knob Creek. This is the wet weather pumping station, and you can see the plan in the background. This is the trench being drilled for the connection line to get excess flow into this station. At Brush Creek, this is the dewatering structure that's being built. There'll be a second structure that'll be building that's going up for the disinfection. This is about a little under $12 million worth of work of local money that's being reinvested back into those 2 facilities. Unicoi backwash tank, all I can tell you on this is this tank is back online, and the commission has heard about this one, and I'm sure you'll probably hear more, but it is back online and in service. This one's a little interesting. Take just a minute. Tannery Knob Tank is one of our key, what we call low system or low-level storage system. When we pump from the Watauga Water Treatment Plant, we pump into 3 main tanks. This tank was originally constructed, and when I say the tank, it's behind this berm. This is up on Tannery Knob, up Chamber Drive. Was originally constructed in the late 30s, early 40s as a poured-in-place concrete tank. I'm not sure at that time there were any standards as we see today. It has reached its useful service life. The phase out of this is going to be in 3 contracts. One is the demolition, one is pipeline contract, and one is a new tank to be built back up there. This tank had about 3 million gallons of capacity when it was in service. Another tidbit was up until about 1972, it was an open top reservoir. So as the city treated water, it went into that, and Mr. Peterson says he swam in it at one point in time. Okay.
What university?
Okay. We had one over there that was an open top reservoir. So we put a...
Swim it and then we drank it.
Ew.
Yes, ma'am.
And let's just hope that's all he did.
All right, the demolition of the tank, this is what it looked like about 2.5 weeks ago. That's Buffalo Mountain, I believe, in the background.
It's a beautiful view from up there.
This is what it looked like about 2 days ago. So the tank is gone. So what happens as part of this contract, in addition to the demolition, is that where you saw that hillside, this is taken down the footprint for a new tank, either a 4 to 5 million gallon tank, that's going to be about 4 feet below where this level is at. And as part of the demolition contract, they have to prepare the pad for that, and then
The next contract, which is the tank construction, will be advertised in late August, early September, and we hope to have the tank back in service sometime by the first of summer of next year.
Is it mainly shale up there?
Yes, ma'am, it is. The commission's heard us talk about the number of wastewater lift stations we've got and that we can reduce that number by about 20%. We're working on getting 2 of them eliminated with gravity service. There's a section of line going in off Carroll Creek Road and one off of Lakeview Drive near St. Mary's, and that'll phase a couple out. This work has started. We've got about 270, I believe, calendar days for the contractor to complete both segments. This is the Bunker Hill tank. This is up in Chinquapin, 1955 vintage. Commission has awarded the bid on it. Contractor has not, we have not generated a notice to proceed yet. Hopefully when we do the update on the projects in the fall, you won't see this tank anymore. This one has reached its useful service life also. Galvanized water line replacement, 2017-2018. We've got 2 divisions. One is in the Hillcrest area, which would be the area down below Liberty Bell Complex up from John Exum, and one over in the Gump Addition. And you can see the footages. This will be at another section of the agenda tonight. We had good bids on this. This is also, what triggered this, in addition to the age of the lines, was intent to pave in the near future in this. So fortunately, we were able to work with Public Works and get this in the pipeline. And those are the referencing the 2 areas that we're going to be laying pipe in. Again, adding standby power to wastewater lift stations. That's an example of the generator that just came in and will be locating out at Carter Crossing. That station is in need of standby power in the event that we have an extended outage. It'll be put in this year. Water and sewer technology plan, the first thing on the plate on that you'll hear a little bit more about later on, or that's on the consent agenda, is the proposals to replace 2 key software packages that we use for work order systems. And this is very much needed and was prioritized first in our technology plan. Other things that are to be advertised, we're going to be putting these 2 additional gensets in by force account. We'll have to bid the gensets in the middle of the summer, but that'll give us an addition of 3 this year. Indian Ridge, which is out near the curve in Indian Ridge, there's a lift station out there. In Hunters Lake, there's a key lift station that handles the flow in that development. Lower Brush Creek, we're getting the appraisals worked on now. We'll be getting right-of-way bid to the end of summer. We're proceeding with that project. The design on the pipeline is 99.9% complete. The goal is to get it into TDEC for review sometime the end of this month, early June. This is a replacement of a 4-inch water line that was put in the mid-50s along Austin Springs Road. We'll be replacing it all the way from Oakland Avenue out to where the Knob Creek wastewater plant is at. We're in easement acquisition right now. We had to phase it back based on the anticipated cost versus the available funding. It still gets us where we need to be. It will improve fire protection out there. We anticipate advertising for this sometime in the fall. We've got, as we talked about previously, we prioritize relining, replacement, rehab of sewer lines. There's a couple of segments. Upper King Creek actually goes up through Carver Park. It's to be relined and the manholes to be replaced. It's an older sewer line. Division Street, we start down below Transit Mix near the city garage and go up across Builder's Supply and over to where Division Street's at. These 2 projects are primarily, or 2 segments, are rehab. We've split these 2 out from a replacement that's out in front of Cheddar's along North State of Franklin. These will open May 25th, and Commission hopefully will have these in front of them the second meeting in June. This one is a traditional construction dig and replace for capacity. We've got a lot of corporate easements out there, and it was
not running as fast as these two, which had no easements whatsoever. So we went ahead and bid these, and we'll bid this sometime next year. Lark Street, we've talked about. It has a utility component in it. There is a possible letting in 2017. Fort Creek Water Extension, a couple of emails on that. County, this has been an area, this is the next bridge beyond Gray. This is the Gray exit right here. The Armory is out here. There's been a segment of water down through here that it's very difficult laying conditions, a lot of rock. There's a creek on one side, very little, very sparse customer density. We haven't been able to get it to pay. The county has appropriated some money that will make it cost effective to lay about 9,000 feet of line. We've got the design underway, and we anticipate bidding sometime in early fall, late summer. This is the energy grant that we got for the regional. If you remember, back in 2011, we commissioned the regional wastewater plant. It's got these existing blowers, which are about 400 horsepower, that are sized for the ultimate capacity of the plant. We got an energy grant to help offset part of the cost to procure one blower at about 200 to 250 horsepower that will improve the electrical efficiency of the facility. And we're also retrofitting LED lighting out there. We talked previously about another thing that drives sewer rehab or replacement, and that's if we get a rainfall event and we get extra flow into the system. We're in the process of studying, and you'll see a design contract sometime mid to late summer. B2D is a drainage area that goes up from Buffalo Road along the Cherokee Road corridor to about where the drainage area breaks at Buccaneer Court Apartments. We've got some bad pipes up in there that need to be lined and some manholes, and so we're targeting that to begin work in by July 1 of 2018. A few force account projects that are worth mentioning. This is the regional plant. This was the new clarifier we put in. This was the clarifier that we had full of water for the aerophoto that was installed back in 1976. All the mechanical stuff in this clarifier was, again, reached its useful service life, needed to be replaced. We did this by force account. We gutted all the parts and pieces. That's what's left is the concrete clarifier. This is about $130,000 worth of parts and pieces that came in from Utah, I believe. This is what a number of the departmental employees were able to do this. Total investment in this was about $225,000. The factory rep that came in for startup on this was very complimentary of the work that the employees had done on this. Other line segments that got done force account, and this is all of this stuff is out of the budget. Circle Drive was up in Chinquapin. We laid almost 5,000 feet and completed it to deal with some small diameter galvanized water quality pressure issues. Ostage Road out in between here and Gray, about 2,000 feet, we had pressure issues. Orleans Street, we've got no line in there, and there's a desire to get the road paved, so we've worked with Public Works to get in and install about 3,000 feet from Broadway out to Legion Street. These are other projects that are staging. There's a section on East Holston, section on Alpine inside the city. Locust is just outside the city. Rambling Circle, we had a complaint on a galvanized, we didn't think it was galvanized, but it turns out we had a galvanized section out there, so we're going to be laying a little bit out there, and we're doing another lift station phase out. Any questions for anybody?
Mr. Witherspoon, the Ford Creek projects,
Yes, sir.
Bid sometime in August or early fall. When do you think work might?
Well,
that might begin.
They will start in the fall, Mayor. That's about 9,000 feet, which is about the length that we have on the galvanized project that's before y'all tonight. Because the way that project is, it'll get installed and it can be put online in phases, so it doesn't have to get to the very end before it's operational. So you'll start to see water flow through that line sometime after the first of the year. May not be all of it, but it'll be part of it.
Thank you.
Other questions?
I just want to say thank you for your leadership. And we have just one of the finest water sewer departments, I think, around. And a part of that is the reinvestment into it. And we recognize from seeing the numbers, you know, it's high dollar issues that we're dealing with, but we make that commitment to keep our water system, our sewer system upgraded to the point we have one of the best around. So thank
This
you
and
for
previous
that.
commissions have been very good about understanding the
Well, you brought it
reinvestment.
to us though, on what needs to be done.
As I mentioned previously, you've got excellent employees, so
Thank
they
them
do
for us.
do a fine job.
But we're streaming these meetings, so other cities may be watching. They're not that good.
Okay. We don't want to tell anybody. Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay, thank you.
Your next item on the agenda is consideration of license. The first being a temporary occasion license for the Blue Plum Organization to sell beer on June the 2nd and 3rd at the Blue Plum Festival to be held at Founders Park. The recommendation is for approval.
Is the applicant here?
Hello.
Good evening. Person we've never met, would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Sure, I'm Jenny Lockmiller, and I live at 301 West Holston Avenue here in Johnson City.
And have you read the rules and regulations regarding the sale of beer in the city of Johnson City?
Yes, I have.
Do you agree to abide by those rules?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any questions?
None at all.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Jennings?
Commissioner Van Brocklin.
Yes.
Commissioner Wise.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock.
Yes.
Mayor Tomita.
Yes. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your event?
I would. Blue Plum Festival is back for its 18th year, maybe 17th, can't remember which one. We made some changes this year. We have a really amazing kids area. We will have free bouncy houses for anyone who meets, I'm sure there's height requirements, so sorry. But we do have free bouncy houses. We have free bungee. The bungee guy usually comes to Blue Plum Festival. This year we have a sponsor, so it's not going to cost anything to do the bungee thing that I will not be doing. We'll have free face painting in the kids area, and admission to the whole event will be free.
Very good.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Your next order of business is to consider 2 temporary occasion licenses for the Johnson City Morning Rotary Foundation to sell beer. These events will occur on July the 14th and July the 21st at Founders After 5 events in Founders Park. The appropriate reviews having been made, finding no disqualifying factors, the recommendation is for approval.
Well, good evening, sir. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Renaud Dubberly, 1712 Jackson Terrace, Johnson City, Tennessee.
Have you read the rules and regulations regarding the sale of beer in the city of Johnson City?
Yes, we have.
Do you agree to abide by those rules?
Yes, we do.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, we don't. It's an excellent service to the community to have the Founders After 5. It brings people to our downtown area and provides an art for that. And it's also been very good for our Rotary Club to be able to use that money for charitable things. And so we very strongly support that operation that y'all have helped.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Ms. Jennings, call the roll.
Commissioner Van Brocklin.
Yes.
Commissioner Wise.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock.
Yes.
Mayor Tomita.
Yes. Anything else you'd like to add to plug?
Come on out.
Thank you. Speech?
Your next order of business is to consider a street closure request from KLH Inc. doing business as the Goose Chase to accommodate the downtown mile to be held on Wednesday, June the 7th, 2017. The route map is in your package, and it centers around the downtown area. The appropriate reviews have been made, and the recommendation is for approval.
Very good. Any questions for the applicant?
Our name?
Would you like to state your name for the record, please?
Karen Hubbs, and my address is 916 Althea Street. I don't know if you need that, but I'm just following suit. Come by anytime.
Have you
I
read
have
the
sweet
rules?
teas.
Oh,
on
wait,
the-
that's wrong.
Yeah.
Any questions? Do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Jennings?
Commissioner Van Brocklin.
Yes.
Commissioner Wise.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock.
Yes.
Mayor Temita.
Yes. Would you like to tell us about your event?
Of course. This event actually is celebrating National Running Day, or some call it Global Running Day, which is June the 7th. And we actually have two different events, but I only needed one with your approval. The other one, thank you, Mr. Peterson. June the 3rd, we're having the Turkeys in Training Kids Clinic. And thanks to the Johnson City Turkey Trot and Up and Adam Inc. for helping us put that together. But we're hoping to have kids out there at Kermit Tipton Stadium, and we're going to just teach them the mechanics of running and nutrition and stretching and pacing and that sort of thing. And we're working with groups such as the Wellness Center, Johnson City Run Club, the Tri-Cities Turtles. We've asked the State of Franklin Track Club and Girls on Run, and really just all running community, the whole running community, to help us with this. And so that's on the 3rd from 8:30 to 2:30. And so we hope we have a bunch of kids out there for that. And then why I'm here is because of the Downtown Mile. It's all downtown. It starts on Main Street, finishes on Main Street, and Yeehaw Brewing is our title sponsor. And we'll have our post event there, of course. But we're hoping to have a lot of people on the course. And we have 3 races because it's a mile. I mean, you can do that in 5-10 minutes. Some of us maybe 20 minutes, but that's beside the point. But 7 o'clock is kids race, 7:30 is open race, and then we're doing an elite race at 8 o'clock. And we're hoping lots of people are there to cheer people on. And as Renault has put on a crit, we're hoping this is the running crit of Johnson City. So we hope it's a true celebration of running. Oh, and go to our website, downtownmilejc.com. Sorry.
Well, I have to add one other thing here. I mean, it's so appropriate for Johnson City to be celebrating the National Day of Running and having this event, because many people don't know this, but some do. In 1984, Johnson City was selected as the #1 running city in America. And when you look at this article, and several of us, you'll see Mark Finucane in here with hair.
And a mustache.
Several of us were here at the time when this happened. Gold medal cities were Atlanta, Boston, Boulder, Eugene, and Oregon. And you go down the list, gold, silver, and bronze, and the #1 is Johnson City, Tennessee. It just blew us away. So some of the components on why we were selected was the training facilities, the exercise physiology support, the indoor track at the Mini Dome, and then just the terrain of Johnson City for a training ground. And then we had the elite Irish Brigade runners and the likes of Dave Walker here. So it was a pretty big recognition for our city. Mr. Walker is gone now, but everything else still exists. So maybe we're going to see a real resurrection in running. Would love it.
And there is a group after we've announced this race and the whole celebration. There's another group forming to try to get that recognition back. So who knows?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so your next order of business is to consider a street closure request from Family Events to accommodate the Geico Motorcycle Hot Bike Tour on Friday, September the 8th, Saturday, September the 9th, and Sunday, September the 10th. This will involve the closure of various streets downtown from 9 a.m. on Friday until 2 a.m. on Sunday, September the 10th. The festival hours will actually be from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. on Friday, and from noon until 9 on Saturday. The applicant will have tents in the streets and will be asking to be allowed to use sponsored trailer trucks, and there will be beer consumption allowed within the area of closure. They are also requesting a competitive demonstration which includes wheelies, stunt team stunts, and burnouts on Buffalo Street, excuse me, between Market and Main. The applicant does agree to restore the street to previous conditions as approved by the city. The staff has reviewed the application and recommends approval.
Good evening. Would you like
Hey
to
there.
state your name and address for the record, please?
Sure. Jenna Moore, 611 Laurel Avenue, 37604.
And which of those feats of you're going to do? You're going to do the burnout or the?
That is going to be professional stunt team. And it's not anything, when you hear stunts, people think jumping off of things. It's not that. It's just the wheelies and the burnouts.
Well, what fun is that?
Yeah. Safe fun.
Anybody have any questions?
Well, I know the answer to this, but the public might like to know, how many motorcycles are we expecting to come into town?
We are modestly expecting about 2,000 from all over the country, the pro bike builders that are recognized in national magazines coming in for a bike build-off competition that the public can also come for free, vote on their favorite bike, and all that stuff. So
generally, they come 2 on a bike, so there will be about 4,000 people in town celebrating Hot Bike Week, which is a great visitor event and
absolutely
great for our economy around here.
for sure, we're definitely excited that they chose Johnson City for their 5th year of this event. And typically they moved around to lots of different cities, Knoxville, Asheville, and this year they've kind of changed it to where they'll be here for 3 days. So we'll have them in town for longer. And like the guy from Hot Bike said, motorcyclists travel with one thing, and that's their wallet, and they like to spend a lot of money in the community. So
Well, we like one too.
Very good, yep.
So we appreciate the Chamber and the Convention and Business Bureau for making this happen.
yeah, we were excited to get them here.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Jennings?
Commissioner Van Brocklin?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock?
Yes.
Mayor Tomita?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. September 8th to the 10th.
That's right.
Your next order of business is consideration of the consent agenda.
Very good. Are there any items we'd like to hold for separate discussion? Start with my question.
I would like to pull, sorry, Mr. Chief, so I didn't tell you ahead of time, and Mr. Willis, I don't know if he's here, but A1.
Okay.
Start with.
Following suit? No.
Very good. A1.
Steve is actually at Unicoi County graduation this tonight, so Bob is here and he can answer your questions.
So, Mr. Willis, if you just kind of give, as I read through it, I wasn't sure I understood all the rationale why we chose that particular vendor and with the new cost structure. Just kind of real
Sure.
thumbnail on the stop loss program
Okay.
that we're initiating this year.
Well, this is something that we do every year, and stop loss is typically, it's a year-to-year contract, and we go out every year and we get proposals on it. We've been with Blue Re, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield, for the last 2 years, and they submitted their proposal. Their initial proposal was, we thought it was a little high, so we asked the consultant to go out and solicit further bids. The company that was selected for this is HCC, and their bid was lower. It's kind of all these firms are very capable of fulfilling on providing stop loss insurance. This is the case where their bid is lower. And it's paid on an individual policy, single family, and on a multifamily policy basis. I think the overall increase was about 7.2%. The next lowest, I believe, was 10%. They're a proven company, and that was the basis for the recommendation.
How do we determine what we want our deductible to be? I know at one time, I think it was $250, we've upped it to $300.
It's been $300 probably 6 or 7, maybe even 8 years. We would look at part of it's based on our ability to what we can feel we can comfortably pay. Also, there's a trade-off. The lower your deductible, the higher the premium. So it's kind of a balancing act. 300 is getting, that's, from other cities around the state, we're on the high end. Not looking at the big 4 cities like that, but we're on a higher end. But that's been comfortable with us. We haven't had we've gone 2 years without a stop loss claim. Yes, knock on wood, without question.
But it could just take tomorrow.
And it could change tomorrow. Yes, it could. So that's this protects us on our health insurance. It puts a cap on how much the city will incur for a high claim. So we're up to $300,000 after that. Stop loss kicks in. Although I will say there is a caveat. We've had this, this is, I know, the 3rd year we've had this. In a exchange for lower premiums, we will pay the first $100,000 above 300 up to 400,000. What we hope to get is that we don't pay that, and we've gotten a lower premium. If we did not have that, then our premium would be a little bit higher. So you're offsetting lower premium for a savings. The worst case is we would have to pay that out, and it would be the same as if we did not have that benefit in there.
So we really have a 400.
Well, it is a 400, but it's only one.
The first
Whereas a 300 could be multiple individuals. This one is a 400. It can be a combination of one claim or several claims. It's just the first $100,000 above
So it's
300,000.
aggregated amongst.
Yes.
How significant is the differentiation of the premiums?
It's a break even. I don't have, I mean, our premiums would be significantly
So we
higher.
benefit if we don't have to pay the $100,000. If we have to pay the $100,000, it's pretty.
It's a
much-
break even.
Okay. So it's kind of hedging things a little bit.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Any further questions?
Nope.
Thank you.
I will just in the, in deference to former Mayor Banyas, we'll ask about the mowing and make sure that we are not mowing trash.
That is in the bid document, yes, sir.
Very good.
So we don't want to mow trash?
No, we don't like mowing trash. We pick it up. All right, any other discussion? I have a motion to accept, to approve the consent agenda. Motion, a second?
Second.
Motion for second, any other discussion? Ms. Jennings, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Van Brocklin.
Yes.
Commissioner Wise.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock.
Yes.
Mayor Tomita.
Yes.
Okay, this takes us to the ordinances, these all being on third reading. The first is resolution for the Raymond annexation in conjunction with ordinance number 4636-17. A resolution to annex certain property located within the 11th Civil District of Washington County, Tennessee, adjoining the present corporate boundaries of the city of Johnson City, Tennessee, and to incorporate the same within the corporate boundaries of the city of Johnson City, Tennessee. Said property being known as the Raymond annexation, to zone said property R2 low-density residential as described herein, and to amend the zoning map of the city of Johnson City, Tennessee accordingly, being a part of the appendix to ordinance number 1519, ready for your consideration on third and final reading.
Any questions, any other discussion?
Move approval.
Motion, have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Ms. Jennings, call the roll.
Commissioner Van Brocklin.
Yes.
Commissioner Wise.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock.
Yes.
Mayor Tomita.
Yes.
The next order of business is ordinance number 4636-17. An ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Johnson City, Tennessee, being part of the appendix to ordinance number 1519, entitled an ordinance to adopt a code of laws and ordinances for the city of Johnson City, Tennessee, and to repeal all laws and ordinances in conflict therewith, and amendatory thereof by assigning a R2 low-density residential to certain property within the 11th Civil District of Washington County, Tennessee, known as the Raymond annexation, ready for your consideration on third and final reading.
Move for approval.
Second.
So, motion to second, any discussion? Ms. Jennings, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Van Brocklin.
Yes.
Commissioner Wise.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock.
Yes.
Mayor Tomita.
Yes.
The next order of business is consideration of committing funds received from the TVA Impact Fee Reserve to your Economic Development Fund. Janet, I'll let you explain the details on that, please, ma'am.
Okay. As a result of the construction work being done on the Boone Dam, the city has been the recipient of some, you could call them one time, but they'll be one time for 3 or 4 years, however long the construction takes place. From the TVA, they have a reserve set aside for such construction events to provide some relief to the impacted areas. Under the Tennessee Code, we would receive these fees during the time of the construction and then for 1 year after the construction activity is completed. Because these are not ongoing revenues that we'll be receiving, wisdom in requesting that these be committed was that this is an opportunity to set these aside for some economic development work. And since we already have the economic development reserve set aside, where those property taxes that are coming in from the MedTech corridor are being reserved, this would be the appropriate place to have those funds committed. So your approval would be required in order for us to do this.
Very good.
Logic being there, this money is for a short duration.
Yes.
We do not want to become dependent upon this money for ongoing operations.
Right, correct.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve adding the TBA funds to our Economic Development Fund.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mr. Anderson, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Van Brocklin?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock?
Yes.
Mayor Tamita?
Yes.
Should we say, for those who are watching, the amount that we received this year was $281,000 in round numbers, so it is a good little bit of money.
Bob, did you get that?
Yes, thank you.
The next order of business is public input.
I'll open up the meeting for public input. If anybody has anything they'd like to address the commission about.
One at a time, please.
Please, stop. Seeing none, I'll close public input.
That brings us to the conclusion of your scheduled agenda for this evening's meeting. If you're quick, Mayor, I won't owe Mr. Wise.
We had a 7 o'clock bed.
We did. All right, just real quick, everybody say hello to Commissioner Fowler, who's watching via our live stream.
We've
He's not
confirmed
able to
this.
make it. We've confirmed
Okay.
it. He is watching, so
Very well.
you were missed, but we managed. Just wanted to congratulate before our next meeting. We're going to have Washington County Schools graduate this Saturday, and then Science Hill graduates next Saturday, the 27th. So congratulations to all the graduates. And should I close it? Tell me when. Anybody else?
I
have
concede
anything?
defeat.
Yeah.
Very good. If you hurry up and get it done, I win the bet.
Thank you. You owe me. Good night.